2 minutes of this can help clear 12 years of blockages. So if you've been wanting more good things to happen to you, if you've been wanting to manifest a better life for yourself, whether that be in terms of love and romance, or more abundance, more success in your business life, this video should help you. So we're going to be talking about two things today, okay? And that is the physical world and also the energy world, because our world is really made up of two things, and that is the physical, so that's everything that you can see, taste, and touch. And also there's energy, which is about sensing and feeling and emotion, okay? So when you combine these two worlds, you can create anything in your life. You can manifest anything in your life. But these two things need to be in harmony. And in terms of success and trying to bring things into your life through maybe a business that you have, or maybe you're trying to attract someone into your life, then the physical is all about action and what you're doing. So if it's business success, it's the daily grind, it's working and doing those things and making a physical effort, whether that's through posting content online, talking to clients. If you're trying to attract love, it's about getting dating apps, going out on dates. That's all within the physical realm, okay? So it's about having that, but infusing every action with a certain kind of energy, which is a certain kind of vibe, okay? A certain kind of mental state. And when you feel really positive and you feel good, and when you're working and you get yourself into a flow state, that is when you'll find that you'll do your most effective work, okay? But because let's say, for example, that you have a day where you're feeling sluggish, you feel off, you don't feel good, perhaps you're angry, perhaps you're frustrated, perhaps things aren't working out and you're just getting really annoyed. Often on those days, you don't tend to do your best work, okay? If you feel extremely anxious on a first date, it's very likely that you won't be as effective at being attractive on those dates. So, with that being said, it's all about getting yourself into the right mood, the right vibration, the right energy, and then taking action, and then going about and going on your dates, trying to make more money, working on your business, whatever it may be. But can you see that first you need to get yourself into that frame of mind, right? You need to get yourself into that energy, okay? So if you know how to inspire yourself, if you know how to motivate yourself, if you know how to make yourself feel more passionate and inspired, that's what you need to do before you take action. But you need to get yourself into a good feeling mood, because that's when you're going to be taking the most effective form of action. And that's when things that you do will start to bring those manifestations that you want and desire into your life. And it's also about as well, when you do this, when you get into that frame of mind, when you get into a flow state and you're taking action, what you'll find is that you're starting to begin to enjoy the journey from where you are now to where you want to be. You start to enjoy it because you get into this energetic, fruitful state where you feel really good and things are just working perfectly, okay? And you can feel that when you enter that flow state. So when you are in that mood, you're going to do things better, okay? And you're going to manifest better. And that's why, by just getting yourself into a rhythm of living like that and doing that on a daily basis, you can easily clear all the blockages in your life, okay? Once you get happy, get feeling good, get feeling inspired and passionate and ambitious for the things that you want to achieve, take action while you're in that frame of mind, and you will create the most effective kind of action. And that's when you'll see things start to filter through and start to make more of whatever it is that you're wanting, whatever it is that you're desiring. So as you can see, it all comes down to these two worlds, the physical world and the energy world, because we live in a physical world, okay? You have to deal with people, other people. You have to use computers and smartphones to communicate with people across the globe. You need to use vehicles in order to get to places. You need to live in a place that you've got shelter, you know. We live in a physical realm, so you can't ignore the physical when you're in this human life, okay? Maybe when we ascend, you know, we don't have to worry about those things anymore, but clearly we have chosen to be human beings. That's why we're here. We've chosen to live this life, okay? And we continue to choose to live this life, otherwise you wouldn't be still here, and neither would I. So clearly there is something to this physical world that is very inspiring to us and something that we want to be doing. Yeah. And what that means then is that we must be here for a reason. And your goal in life is to find out whatever that is for you. Okay. And I personally think that the best way of living is by mixing and molding these two worlds of that physical world, you know, which we cannot ignore because here we are. But also bringing that energy, okay, and utilizing energy to the best of our abilities so we can create our physical world the way that we want it. If you can think of like energy as like the tools and the physical world as in like a sculpture, then the energy is the tools and the physical world is the sculpture. And so then, therefore, if we use this energy, okay, if we use this energy correctly and we get ourselves into that good feeling state, that flow state, we can mold our life, the physical world, the way that we want it to. We can have whatever lovers we want. We can have whatever amounts of money we want. We can have whatever career we want. We can live life essentially the way we want it, as long as we are working towards it and utilizing our energy effectively. Okay, and using our energy effectively. So if you marry those two things, taking action, feeling good, feeling inspired, feeling ambitious, getting yourself into a flow state, using your energy wisely, revving yourself up, basically, psyching yourself up, you can do things more effectively in this physical world. Okay, and if you can just do those two things, and you marry those two things together really well, you will bring whatever it is that you want to in this life. If you think about Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, now you could say whatever you want about Napoleon Hill. I know there's a lot of backlash that goes with his work about how he could have been allegedly a con artist or a charlatan, basically. There's a lot of things out there about him. But if you read his initial chapters, especially the ones about faith and having a burning desire, that is all about that flow state, that feeling good and that ambition, okay, that excitement about life and about your purpose in life. That's the energy, right? That's what you can use. That's what you can tap into, okay? And if you can try to do that, then any form of action that you take is going to be amazing. Okay, it's going to work out really well, but you have to tap into that energy. Okay, so that's how you can clear blockages very, very simply and very, very easily. And it's something that you can try out very quickly as well, because you can, for me, for example, if I really want to get into a flow state, if I really want to rev myself up so that I can take effective action, I like listening to like uplifting music from movie scores or something like that, or I read an uplifting book, usually a self-help book of some form or a spiritual book. I can use my mind to imagine lovely things that put me in that good mood, like imagining the future or imagining any kind of success and those sorts of things. And I've used exactly this process to create a YouTube channel not this one, but my more formal YouTube channel, I guess you could say, my bigger YouTube channel, which is called just simply Christine Loveridge, which is a dating and relationship channel. That's how I managed to get that channel to nearly 40k subscribers, and create my dating, relationship and coaching business. Okay, that's exactly what I used to rev myself up, to get myself to take effective action and putting myself in a good mood so I could make videos that were going to help people and inspire them and stuff. So this is a tried and true method that I've been using for many, many years to get up to that subscriber count and to get up to the business success that I've had. So I'm real living proof that you can manifest anything that you want in this life. Okay, so I hope you take my word for it, basically, and try it out for yourself. Try it out for yourself. Get inspired, get feeling good, and then take action. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.